The late adopter. Hello everybody, good morning, I hope you slept well. So yesterday Bitcoin decided to dump a little bit towards the downside. Now, was that a bear trap or not? It kind of depends. I think it was kind of bear trap because a lot of people sold down here at the bottom around 40k. There was a lot of people shorting also 40k. And there was also a couple of YouTubers, big YouTubers calling for some kind of 30k. So I think a lot of people are very scared, for more down movement towards the downside. Now, fortunately for us, we just recovered right back up again. Unfortunately, we did not have any kind of follow through above these previous levels up here. So you can see these previous levels up here. Right now we are still there. So we had a nice move towards downside, maybe some kind of bear trap, but this is kind of looking like it's gonna bleed a little bit towards downside right now. So still not out of this sideways movement over here. The bear trap did work out a little bit, but will we get some kind of continuation towards downside or not? That depends to be seen. Now let's start with the weekly time frame up here, and today is Sunday, so it's gonna close in 14 hours. So we are already a little bit bearish. You can see here this is the 50 moving average on the weekly time frame. We close below that. We continue dumping towards downside, but there is one level on the weekly time frame that I would like to close above, and that's this level up here. That's 43,160. Let me just type that exactly, 160. So this is the level that I want to close above, because I think it's a little bit unrealistic to think that we're gonna pull back all the way up above the 50 moving average of 16-17% a day on Bitcoin. That's kind of historic moves towards the upside. I don't think we have that much bullishness right now. So the best case scenario I think is 43,160. Why 43,160? Because this was some kind of a support line, and this support line we want to hold, so we want to close above that line. Number one, if you close below the line, you broke the support. Number two, you are creating lower low, so the trend is changing towards downside. You can see here low, higher low. This is trend towards the upside. But this over here is lower low, so this is trend towards the downside. So you are creating more bearishness by closing below 43,160. So I think on the weekly time frame for today, at least the best case scenario is above 43,160. So we're gonna see how that plays out. Let's go to the daily time frame up here, and what I'm going to show in the daily time frame, that there is a little bit bullishness on the charts, and it's not all doom and gloom. And that's why I also noticed yesterday on Twitter that a lot of people are actually looking for some kind of bottom. They are looking for some kind of big rally towards the upside, and because it's really hard to push it further towards the downside, this over here. Unfortunately, we are not having this very nice move towards the upside, towards this 10 moving average. There is no big rally, big bullishness, just to go down and bounce right back up. It looks like we just we fall sideways, try a little bit sideways, fall sideways, any kind of bullish move towards the upside get kind of wrecked a little bit, and pushed back. So that shows me a little bit bearishness, but indicators are showing actually some oversold levels, and they are saying that maybe, just maybe, we should probably start going towards the upside. Now this RSI down here is at some kind of 29 levels, and these levels are do not happen that often. Oftentimes at some kind of bottoms and stuff like that. You can see here, but just because you get to those levels up here, we had a nice rally towards the upside up here, but it wasn't that big of a rally. So the RSI being low, it's not that big of a deal, but it's one of the indicators shows like, hey man, you might be at the bottom. The second thing, of course, is the MACD losing momentum towards downside. You can see these waves are losing momentum, and every single wave that we are going towards downside right now is losing momentum. So some kind of reversal should come, and I was thinking actually this reversal should come up here. That didn't unfortunately, that didn't happen. Now I was saying that this is some kind of accumulation zone. I still think it might be accumulation zone if this can actually pump towards the upside, but even this spring effect that I've been calling for is kind of weak, and I'm not quite sure what to say about that. The last thing down here is that my own indicator down here that have been showing that we hit some kind of very low levels. down here, and these are also some kind of overextended levels towards the downside. So everything right now is pointing that we are low, we are overextended, we need some kind of move towards the upside. Worst case scenario, we get some kind of move towards the side, some kind of sideways move, because this sideways movement can this sideways movement can correct a lot of these indicators towards the upside, because if you just continue going to sideways, the the RSI will continue going towards the upside. The MACD will probably, just, continue losing momentum, but the TLA indicator down here will also be corrected. So sideways is probably the worst case scenario right now, the way I see it. The best case scenario is we kind of pop towards the upside a little bit, that about at least above the 10 moving average, and then see if we can continue towards the upside. But sideways movement right now, I think it would be quite devastating for Bitcoin. So you can see here on the 4-hourly what's happening right now, and we are moving down a little bit. So over here yesterday on the dump, we recovered nicely and we created what's called a bullish engulfing candle. So it gives a little bit bullishness towards the upside, but the problem up here is that this stop and this stop is going towards the downside, while this stop and this stop is going towards the upside. This is called hidden bearish divergence, so we are expecting a small move backwards down here, and that's exactly what's happening. I'm not expecting actually this to go all the way down, and even if it goes down, it will be just one more episode of this move down here, because if you go down here, a lot of people will be seeing these levels, and everybody wants to go towards the upside. So I think we will get another one of these bullish engulfing candles, and this bullish engulfing candle might actually pop really hard towards the upside, because we are out already at very low levels, so it is really hard pushing it towards the downside. Now that said, you can see this 3-4 weeks towards the upside getting rejected by the 20 moving average. So this 20 moving average on the 4-hour is very important to get back above, and before we do that, we are not doing that much. Also on the 4-hourly time frame, we got 2 pivot points towards downside. We got RSI going towards the upside, so even this is showing that we are some kind of a low level. So as you can see, everything is showing like, hey man, you are low, you are very, very low, you should bump, and in any kind of bullish scenario, bullish run or anything like that, this would have pumped like days ago, but unfortunately we are very bearish, as you can see on the chart, because with all of these things we are still being pushed on the downside. I don't know who's manipulating the markets, but they are manipulating towards the downside. And the last thing we can see here in the short-term outlook, what I'm going to show you here is actually 2 trend lines that might show that this might be some kind of bull flag down here. So let me just let's go to the 4-hourly time frame now. Let's go to 1-hourly time frame. What I'm going to show you here is 2 very nice trend lines up here. I think one is something like this up here. So you can see here, it's hitting these stops up here with this top, and the second one is down here somewhere. This is a nice trend line, yeah. So these 2 trend lines, because for whatever, sometimes it's not that easy to find trend line, but these weeks up here show that this is a trend line. Now between these trend lines, it looks like it's kind of going kind of sideways. So is this some kind of a bull flag that's gonna break towards the upside? Don't know, maybe. Best case scenario, I think we'll be getting above this trend line up here. Somewhere let's be somewhere at 42k, back above 42k, above these levels up here towards the upside. That'd be like best case scenario, but right now we are going a little bit towards the downside. I don't see any clear pattern up here on these charts. We can pop some moving averages up here. You'll see here that we went above the moving averages up here, but right now back below the moving averages. So this move towards downside, even on this 1-hourly time frame, the RSI divergence, I don't know if you can see it, but this goes towards downside, this goes towards the upside as hidden bearish divergence, so we are getting pulled towards downside. So how long this pull towards downside is gonna last, not quite sure about that, but I don't expect it to, this to drop down to 60k or something like that. There is 2 very important levels of support that we might hit, and I'm gonna show you right now. So in case we go down big time for whatever reason, this is what you're gonna look at. That's 38 and 39k. These 2 levels are very, very important. Can we go another move towards these 2 levels? We definitely can. And this is gonna, if we do it right now, these levels 38 and 39, are gonna be very important levels of support. So I don't think we can actually break this on next move towards downside. If this is gonna happen, it needs to go something like this, you know, sideways for a long period of time and then hit it on downside to break it. But if we go just right now go to 38, 39k, I don't think there is any kind of chance, you know, we're gonna break these levels out down here. So I think this is just gonna bounce right back up again. So the way I see it, we are already, you know, low enough. We don't need to do this move towards downside. I think we need some kind of, you know, some kind of pullback, some kind of dead cat bounce towards the upside. But low levels are low levels, but when low levels are not, you know, having any kind of effect towards the upside, you gotta ask yourself, hey man, what's up, what's up? So something is up. We are not bouncing that much even when we are having these overextended low levels. So what you're gonna do? So we're gonna see how this weekly closes. Do we get any kind of pull toward upside on the daily time frame and stuff like that? But right now I'm not very bullish, but you know, I'm looking for more upside and I'm not that much on the downside. That said, hit the like button if you liked the video. A little bit long video, unfortunately, but you know, stuff happens. And see you tomorrow, same time, same place. Bye-bye.
That was genius. Thank you. Great job. You guys did it. No, it's you.